Hello, my name is Dr. Erik Wardenberg. I'm from the US. I'm 45 years old. I've been working with ACC Hanoi for 2+ years. I've got 19 years of chiropractic experience. So what we're going to be talking about today, because there's always lots of questions, is what are some about flat feet? Everyone asking questions about flat feet, congenital, not, when to start, when not to start. So I want to answer some of the questions about flat feet. So again, the first question I hear a lot is flat feet congenital or not? So to answer this correctly, flat feet in Asian children are usually not genetic. Most Asian children with flat feet have what is called flexible flat foot. What does that mean? That means that the foot flattens under body weight, but when unweighted would have normal or even high arches. This condition occurs when a child has very soft and flexible connective tissue, holding together the bones in the feet. And again, soft feet flatten under body weight, distorting the ankle and the rest of the skeletal above the feet. Walking barefoot on hard surfaces, which is common in Asia, makes the problem worse. A small percentage of flat feet is what we call a rigid flat foot. The foot is structurally rigid and flat, where an arch cannot be discerned in the foot even if it is not weighted. Rigid flat feet are believed to be genetic in origin. So with that may only account for 1 or 2% of the flat feet in Asian children, and would definitely require a different type of treatment and protocol. And again, sometimes surgery, but that's very, very rare. That's uncommon. The second question is flat feet a genetic problem? And again, the answer is no. The majority of children with flat feet do not have a genetic predisposing to flat feet. Instead, it is a combination of diet and the environment. Again, there's always a small minority of children who have genetic rigid flat feet, but the percentage of those children are very, very low. Now again, there's questions 3, 4, and 5 go together. So again, what is the ideal age to start flat feet treatment without negative effects on a child's development? To answer this, in general, the best time to start getting the orthotics is when the child is starting to walk. And again, that's usually could be earlier, but roughly 18 months old is the best age to start with the orthotics. However, much can be determined by the degree of flat foot. If it's the 2nd and 3rd degree, that would require immediate use of the orthotics. And again, if it's a 1st degree of flat foot, a child could probably wait a little bit longer. But if they have pronation due to the weak intrinsic muscles of the feet, or foot flare, then obviously you need to get the orthotics immediately as well too. And again, if arches are going to form naturally, you will soon see changes in the foot by the age of 2 to 3, as bones, nerves, ligaments, and tendons in the foot begin to tighten and form the arch. And again, what I'm always talking about is, again, we always want those arches. That's a nice arch. That's a nice arch. And again, here you can see, this is the flat foot. So there's a difference, flat foot and the arches. That's what we're looking for. It's very important. What are causes of flat feet? Most flat feet in Asian children are flexible flat feet. And again, what does that mean again? What it means is that the foot is not really flat, but just flattens down under the body weight. And again, there are 3 main causes to flexible flat feet. The first cause is due to the child having very soft connective tissue at a very young age. Soft connective tissue can be a result of diet, which means lacking of protein, vitamin D, or calcium. Or inherent flexibility, meaning that people in the ancestry are a little more flexible than normal. Now again, walking at an early age with no shoes on hard surfaces would be another possible cause as well. But again, this is also affecting overweight children that are overweight will tend to also have flatter feet due to increased pressure, increased weight, but however, this is not deemed a main reason. Of all the main factors, diet and poor footwear are considered the top 2 contributors to flat feet. Another question is, will the change to foot structure by orthotics create abnormality to the body of children as they are in the process of growing and the body is sensitive? Another very good question. Again, we always say in general, correcting flat feet in children with the right kind of orthotic leads to an immediate improvement in the rest of the body, above the foot, as well as the foot itself. Flat feet causes imbalance in the body that are easy to see and measure. Flat feet distort the ankle joints and interfere with the child's ability to walk with asymmetry. Correction of the flat feet in children immediately leads to an overall improvement in posture, balance of legs, and spine, as well as the way the child walks. Very often, before and after x-ray show improvement in spinal curvatures such as scoliosis. These immediate improvements can usually be observed and confirmed by even untrained adults such as the child's parents. Improvements to the spine, legs, and feet continue to progress in a positive way during the time the children are wearing the foot orthotics. In most cases, after a number of years, the improvements can become permanent, especially if the child begins using orthotics at a young enough age. And again, when we say the young enough age, 18 months or when they begin to start walking. And again, how long will it take for arches to form at children wearing orthotics and strictly following doctor's recommendation? And what if the results don't meet expectations? All right, so again, this always depends on several factors. The first factor is, how severe is the original problem? The second factor is, at what age are the orthotics are beginning to be worn? If the child starts wearing orthotics at 2 or 3 years old, there is a very high probability that the arch will be normal without need for orthotics anymore between the ages of 7 and 10. Extremely soft feet may not become normal until the late teens or sometimes not at all, in which case the child will need some ongoing arch support. And getting orthotics after the age of 5 or 6 years old, the process will take a little bit longer, usually takes between 2 and 4 years, but as the older you get, the longer you're going to have to wear the orthotics, and the follow-up visits are always very important so we can monitor the whole process. That's very, very important. And again, the golden age is usually between 2 and 7 years old, or when they begin to start walking. That's very important. If the arch still does not devolve after wearing orthotics for an extended period of time, the best solution is to continue wearing them for as long as necessary or ongoing after adulthood. Again, there's a small percentage of children whose feet are too soft to correct even if all protocols are followed. These children will most likely need to wear orthotics for their life. It is much like having eyeglasses to correct vision when being worn but not when taking off. And again, when the orthotics are done correctly, again, you'd see immediately hold the arch in the optimal position. Therefore, the benefit of orthotic is immediate and continues for as long as a child wears the orthotics, regardless of whether the correction becomes permanent or not. And orthotics, to get the best results, the best benefit, is to always wear them 6 to 8 hours a day.